and concentrating on current events. And so you might remember that in the famous environs of New York City, a trial took place for the public's entreaty. The election contriver and law and order denier, Donald J. Trump, thought he'd get off sneaky. But the anger-prone Trump, complaining of cold in a solemn courtroom, could not act bold. And as the jerk tried to muster another whiny, self-serving bluster, Judge Merchan just stopped him with a firm scold. A model witness, the aptly named Pecker, fooled Trump into being like a spectator. And the tearful, aptly named Hope Hicks helped the case to build evidence bricks. Let's hope she's hindered the would-be dictator. A seduced woman who'd worked in porn acted so well that a star was born. In a first-class hotel, the words of the witness about sex under stress left seducer Trump both mad and forlorn. And that's just rhyme with porn. I messed up the limerick. You get the idea. Stormy Daniels wore a bulletproof vest, and she testified her very best. Why she needs such protection? That's from MAGA intimidation. She's taking risks at our country's behest. And there was evidence from Michael Cohen. Of course not the most ethical of men. But fact-checked, he spoke truth. The defendant smirked, looking uncouth. Maybe Mike scored an 8 out of 10. The defense was tepid, and the prosecutors were of the facts great contributors. While Trump sat on his ass, the competent Steinglass, the prosecutor, won the approval of the righteous jurors. It was said to be a novel legal theory. How else to catch a criminal most sneaky? Proud Trump they did snag, modestly none did brag. Of more than one felony, Trump was guilty. All hail District Attorney Bragg. An airtight case with nary a snag. Verdicts adding up to 34. Hopefully jail times in store. And Judge Merchan really honored the flag. 12 upright citizens, honest and true. Integrity in them our system did imbue. After 6 weeks of drama, despite Trump's foul aroma, a fresh breath of justice our way they blew. All hail the Donald J. Trump jury for finally injecting the system with glory. Guilty he is of 34 crimes. Guilty was read out 34 times. Now can we put right the rest of the story? All hail, oops, we already did that. Donald J. Trump got judged guilty, and he ranted about it stupidly. Said a lot of bullshit. Said the court wasn't legit. He needs to be jailed, indubitably. All right, well, that was a lot of limericks.
All right.
Okay, but it's like a drama. It's like a drama made of movements. Now, more serious note. We shall make an opera out of it. Some limerick opera.
That would be a great one.
That would be true.
Yes.
I am so torn, but I've been critical of our president, like many people. But he's getting a little better, so I have something called a mixed judgment on things, Mr. President. And again, as I pointed out, I'm a poet. That's things are hard for me because it's hard to keep up with current events. For a poet who pays attention to each current event, at least those that seems most exigent, and exigent to rhyme with the current event. Exigent means urgent. Anyway, it's hard working almost week by week to influence opinion or heck, just tweak. For a while, things have been going in the wrong direction, ever since some scum minimized the insurrection. So let me try against the odds to bring some light to the current flow of intellectual blight. Now, candidate Biden has had a hard time. Even his own son has been convicted of a crime. Something about him briefly having had a gun, despite Republicans saying they should be owned by everyone.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Man, you know, I just point out inconsistencies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Now that's a really crazy instance of irony and a bigger example of hypocrisy. I could just go on.
Tell it up. Tell it up.
There we go. Mr. Biden, you know the stakes in your fight against MAGA. Make America greedy again. Trump's ugly aroma or stigma. Your place in the polls because you're too old? I've said before, it's because you need to be more bold. But really, things do look better, Mr. President. Your main opponent has lost all sense of deportment. Can't control himself, can he? Now, I should have a couple lines about an alligator and an electric boat, but I couldn't do that. Maybe next time. Now, it used to be that if a politician was said to have convictions, it wasn't due to subverting one of our elections. Now you can use that against the treasonous malefactor, I'm saying, Mr. President. You can use that against the treasonous malefactor. He's now a proven law and order rejecter. We have to believe the public will call to defend. The republic will not to propaganda bend. I think that at least a good majority will shun the route to hate and perfidy. Oh, well, that's deep. But they want their president to use the wisdom of his age and showing new strength to just take over the stage. Don't hesitate to call Trump a criminal felon and hammer him for it. Be tough, Mr. Biden. Now, to deal with the problem with Gaza, it almost seems an intractable dilemma. Your critics just blame you for Netanyahu and not preventing the crimes he did do, the world kitchen murders and thousands of dead. The IDF obviously was criminally led. Trying for a ceasefire to reduce the chaos. There must be a stop to this great civilian loss. It was right to threaten to reduce military aid, belatedly reducing the war crimes cascade. You also did attempt to get the two-state solution, at least on a table for a potential resolution. I submit that one of the greatest obstacles is Israel's extreme dumb incorrigibles. Stupid. 7 months of incompetence in finding tunnels, in addition to arrogance and other foibles. There are scientific methods to probe the ground. Yet Israel seems in ancient times bound. Hamas's hiding places, Israel to their shame. They have only stupid methods to find them, they claim. To bomb and destroy everything on the surface. It's like using a fire to find a penny in a mattress. This simple thing, if a smart person, they asked, science would make a metal detector tasked. Hello, metal detector. Anyway, as far as the tunnels go, standard techniques like ground-penetrating radar can find anomalies with no surface mar. Electrical conductivity sensors, another technique. Ask an expert, you bunglers, if your skills are weak. Seismic charges are also often fruitful. Oh, they need expert help to be useful. Muon tomography, yes, one has to learn new technology if you want respect to earn. Quite modern, but over 7 years recognized. In treasure hunting and archaeology, not to be despised. For finding hidden chambers deep underground, at least as far down as enough muons can be found. Oh, if you haven't heard of muons, try an encyclopedia. Britannica will do it if you disparage Wikipedia. Bombing with dumb bombs and guessing is just dumb. If Israel had done it right, they may have already won. Yes, Hamas is evil, and they are quite dumb too. But I sincerely wish Israel had a clue. Oh, hostages can be above and underground, and no poor poet can say all will be found. But, Mr. President, can we not at least agree, if Israel takes our money, it's help if at least we make them make use of science and not just stupidity. Top-down's not working, so work the underneath, meaning let's go from military to military, or CIA to military intelligence. Now, forget about that now. Let's work it that way, to give them the technology to actually maybe end the damn war. Anyway. Top-down's not working, why not work the underneath? That they need advice like children does beggar belief. However, we can do whatever it freaking takes, if scientific use of our smarts they can finally make. If it isn't clear enough, have someone contact me. Many lives can be saved if you will hear my plea. Okay, there is a part 2 though. As to the Russian attempt to conquer Ukraine, you did get the 50 billion. Your inaction was a feign. To have it be a loan seems like a disgrace. But yes, Mr. President, you have saved face. This refers to the 50 billion in Russian frozen assets, of which there are 300 billion that we should be able to give to Ukraine, but we're only given 50 billion as a loan. This was just last week. So this is pretty current. So it's not beautifully phrased yet. In any case, Mr. President, you have saved some face. The straight aid package, held up 6 months or more, allowed Putin to strike nearer Ukraine's core. You failed by executive order many times to save lives. You failed by executive order many lives to save because you simply wouldn't be brave. Just because you were bailed out by hacking Jeffries and MAGA Mike succumbed to the 60 billion G's. The entire extra billions in assets don't leave under the table. To reconstruct Ukraine, we will not be able. Just a smart tip. You'll need in second term, RFK's no damn help. Not with that stupid armor. The new support agreement is a nice window dressing. But has all the smart people really guessing? It's only set up to be for 10 years. It sure looks like a commitment, and commitment we are in arrears. The Budapest Memorandum was in perpetuity. If it is annulled, that's just mendacity. Nevertheless, more countries have signed on. Perhaps Ukraine will be less put upon. Thank you for finally letting Zelensky fire in to Russian territory. How else can he win? And what in the hell is with those F-16s? Get them there. Our allies can't live on dreams.